Test, test.
Test, test.
All right. Sorry about that, all of you Warrior faithful out there. We did have a considerable amount of technical difficulty tonight, and you're going to get that sometimes when you're on the road, especially when you're not in control of your own internet, when you're not in control of your own network. Nothing against Eastern Hancock. We had to make some changes. Then we also had to talk to our software people. But long story short, we are able to pick things up here at the start of the second quarter. Also wanted to let you know that in the position that we're in, high up here, the camera will be moving and shifting a lot, and we'll do our very best to do that. Also, our resolution tonight is not the best, but that's about all the technical issues, Coach. We're going to switch over now and let you know what you've missed, and you've probably seen some updates from Mr. Denny. But as of right now, the score's getting up there on the screen. It is 30-0, Coach. So you were able to watch and see what things were going on. Go ahead and fill us in on what exactly happened there.
Well, I won't tell you what was going on up in the booth because that wasn't pretty. But right now, we are going to have to play some catch-up. Eastern Hancock's really good with a really good quarterback who we have heard is being recruited at the Division I level. So he looks really sharp tonight. They really run a spread offense. and they are throwing the ball all over the place and catching guys right in stride. So, I think they have 4 touchdowns and a safety right now. So we're going to have to obviously pick things up a little bit from where we are right now, and tough sledding, but we're going to keep battling.
So if there's ever a time that you're going to miss a couple things, Warrior fans, it's probably this game where we had a little bit of trouble early in the first quarter there. As you can see, the 30 points up there for Eastern Hancock, but nothing to hang our heads about. We knew going into this one it was going to be a battle. We had both talked to different coaches on our coaching staff, and they said this was going to be a battle. We've got a really good quarterback. They spread us out. They like to throw the ball around, and we knew that was going to be an issue. And now it really just comes down to, Coach, probably, the fight in our kids, the fight in our guys, and just, they're down a lot, but, hey, don't give up and keep fighting, right?
Yeah, you'd like to see us keep fighting through adversity, keep playing, play every play, and here's a nice
little run there
by Carlos Artiega.
So met by several Eastern Hancock Royals there. We'll kind of go through some things. We have to. We apologize. We have to kind of get our bearings back here as we try to figure out exactly what was going on there in the first quarter. I will be completely honest. I was away doing some other things. Coach was able to witness it, but I don't think we need to rehash it too much. I think we just need to move forward and kind of give the Warrior faithful what the Warriors are going to do from the second quarter on. So Harlan back in the shotgun here. And it looks like we do have a flag on the play.
Looks like it's false start.
False start. Wes-Del.
And, Coach, you're right. False start.
I think that was on one of our receivers. Step to the line and then step back up again. So once you're there, you got to get in a set position. The official's actually talking him through it right now. So learning lesson right there. I think that was Cameron Buckner out on the far side.
Here's a snap to Harlan. Harlan going out to the far side, keeps it himself.
Here's a struggle we're in right now is the fact that we would like to run a ball control offense because they are so good offensively. We don't want them to have the ball. The problem is we're not able to have a long, sustained drive. And then when you get down 30 points, you got to look to be more aggressive and try to score, and that's the way you feel. So we've had a couple times when the option play has worked well for us, and let's see if we can make that happen again.
Sure. Harlan again back in the shotgun. In motion is Kelly. Fake to Kelly, kept by Harlan. Nice little run there, and he picked up about 5 or 6 on that carry. Coach, in the first quarter, I didn't get to see our possessions. Did we try to get some things done on the ground, or was it more in the air?
We threw one interception when we tried to move the ball in the air a little bit, and other than that, we've been trying to run a little misdirection and the a little bit of the option, and we've gotten a couple first downs out of that. So I think we got to stay with it, stay with our game plan, but we're going to have to obviously put some points up on the board now.
And now it looks like a change coming in from Coach Hess to Harlan. Harlan turns around, and it looks like positions Kelly in motion now. That's number 7, I believe, coming down to the inside down here.
Harrison Pittsford.
He's met by number 25 of the Royals.
Pittsford stops. Throw off the Royals. 25.
Got to bring up 4th down.
So 4th down, and
at the 39,
yeah.
I would say.
We say, 4th down and about 7 maybe?
I would look for us to punt. Even down right now, they'd be giving up too much field position.
So the Warriors trying to figure things out. As Coach said, they will probably punt. If they don't, it would be shocking. So we'll see what we get out of this. And it's a pass.
It's a fake.
He's open, and that is almost a really, really nice catch, but I'd have to give credit to Eastern Hancock's secondary there. They were in there and all over it.
You got a hand up late. Nate Steele was open initially. Number 10 for Eastern Hancock caught up with him and got a hand in there. I liked the aggressiveness. Didn't work out on that play. It was there at the beginning. Number 10 made a nice play on it.
So as we're looking at this, who is the quarterback for Eastern Hancock? We've talked a little bit about him. There is a rumor. We don't know if it's true or not. We're putting it out there on the Wes-Del Sports Network. But we were told by the coaching staff that he's being looked at by some colleges, possibly Harvard. And who is that, Coach?
Houston Swan. Sounds like a quarterback's name. Houston. The bad news is he's only a junior, so we're going to see him.
Right here. He's in the shotgun, isn't he? He's got them all spread out.
Oh, there's a fumble.
And there's a fumble. So the first opportunity here in the second quarter for our Warrior fans at home to see that junior Swan. He fumbles that, and that was probably the first miscue on his part we've seen all night.
Yeah, we'll take that. Looked like Avery Carmen was in on the play as well as Jesus Cardoza. Both one of those two will get a sack.
Seems like we're always saying Avery Carmen or Jesus Cardoza at some point on the defensive side. So now we have someone in the backfield here with Swan. He's in the shotgun, and he's fakes, and it's, nicely broken up by Will Kelly.
Yeah, Will did a nice job. We got a nice push that time on the from the defensive line. Got it back there and made things uncomfortable, and I think that's when you're playing against a really good quarterback like this. You're going to have to make them uncomfortable, make them make plays quicker than they want to. If we just let him sit back there, we didn't get to show it, but if he has enough time, then we're in trouble.
You know, sometimes you've got to wonder if things happen for a reason. Maybe we had a little network issue that first quarter so we could show the best out of our Warriors, and so far we've seen a couple good defensive stands here in the first two possessions on defense that our Warrior faithful have seen. See what happens here on third down. Drops back, a lot of pressure again from Will Kelly, and now he's going deep, and there's a lot of people want a flag here. And who was on the coverage there for the Warriors? Is that
like
Harlan?
Eric Harlan and Nate Steele were both back there wanting a flag. You know, the ball was up in the air when they both turned around with their heads back. May or may not have been called.
Excellent coverage by Harlan is the way we're going to call it. And I understand we aren't in friendly territory on this side of the field. But, when you're up 30-0, do you really need that pass interference call at that point?
That's kind of what
we need something to go in our direction, right? That ball's away.
Same punt formation that we use. Had the quarterback step back and do a little pooch kick. It was 4th and 18 on that. Nice play. I like that. I think it's hard to defend that. Both teams seem to use that formation, and we've talked about that before in other games. I like when we step back, and they did the same thing right there. So 7:53 left in the second quarter.
So 7:53 left, as Coach said. Both teams using that similar punt formation. Now we get to see our Warriors in action. I'd really like to see, I know Coach would really like to see us string something together here. Harlan there talking to his backfield. Is that Nate Steele closest to us? No, that's Cameron Buckner, I believe.
Yes, that's Cameron Buckner.
Here's
We're in
the
a different
snap.
number tonight.
Harlan going to the far side, up the corner. Nice little push there at the end, and he picked up a good gain. I'd say probably close to a first down.
Yeah, they're going to call it a first down. Looks like he picked up about 13 on that play.
Excellent run for Harlan. So maybe we are a bit of luck when we get this thing working, and maybe we'll just chalk it up to us for the difficulty with the computer, the software, and everything as to why our Warriors weren't playing so well in the first quarter, but they sure are now. Couple or one good, really good defensive stand here, and now they've got the ball back with a little bit more confidence. A little fake.
Nice pass fake. Oh, nice catch.
Nice catch up the middle.
Harrison Pittsford.
Harrison Pittsford with a lot of room to run. A lot of room to run.
Nice.
All the way down and across. What's he, across the 30, Coach?
Yeah, he's probably about to the 28-yard line. Great pass. Nice pass fake. They even work in football. We talk about them in basketball all the time. Nice pass fake. Harrison Pittsford on the slant pattern, and was able to pick up a huge chunk of yardage there.
And it'll feel a little bit like you're leaning at home, but that's just the far side that we're in the press box with our camera. So we apologize if it looks like you're angled. You're really not. Harlan in the shotgun, got two backs, a little misdirection, but right in there was about, you'd say, probably 4 or 5 of those.
Well, we're going to see. They may have called this a fumble. But either that or calling him.
Let's call him down. How about we call him down? I'll take it knee that he was down, and let's keep it going for the Warriors.
They're calling him down.
Hey, fantastic.
Yeah, that was that play didn't work from the very beginning, and think the push from the defensive line got back there before we could fake the handoff.
Well, they've got some big boys on that defensive line. As you see there, I believe 56. He's a very big gentleman. We'll look him up.
6'4", 250.
Yeah, it's hard to handle up front for a 1A school. Wes-Del here, Harlan rolling out to his left, ducks it in. Another nice little finish there as he plunges forward, and I think he picked up about 5 on the carry.
I like the north and south running. We were not doing that very well in the first quarter. We were trying to back and forth, east and west, and you got to pick up ground by going north and south.
And quickly back in are the Warriors getting set. Here's Harlan getting ready for the snap, talking to his team. The senior leader getting things rolling here. Looking to the sideline. And we may have a timeout.
Timeout, Eastern Hancock.
So the timeout goes to Eastern Hancock. And we'll stay here with you since you didn't have us in the first quarter. So, Coach, do you have any, and I think we do, I'll get some for you here in just a second. We have some stats to talk about as we've played 2 weeks now, but I do know that there's something we've got to talk a little bit about. We're missing a Warrior out there. We have somebody that from last week has the injury bug. Who is that?
Yeah, we're missing Joel Dowling this week. Obviously one of our senior wide receivers. He's down with a knee issue. I think it's a knee bruise, so should be able to get that healed up. And, it was a game-time decision. Just didn't feel like he was able to go. So we'll look for him to be back hopefully next week, homecoming. I'm sure that he'll try to do everything he can to rehab and get back. But anytime you're missing a senior that plays a lot and a kid that probably has caught a lot of passes and from Eric Harlan, you're missing a big part of your offense. So, Warriors, obviously somebody's got to step up. Right now it's been Harrison Pittsford. He's played really well in some of those pass patterns. So, it's time for somebody else. They're going to get an opportunity. Somebody else is going to have to step up and make a play.
Well, I don't know if you saw that, but right as you were talking about injuries and walking around the backside of the Warriors there, I don't know if you noticed who that is. You've mentioned him a lot this week.
Oh, is Tony Cox here?
Tony Cox is here, our trainer.
Tony's here. Yeah.
Tony's here. I just wanted to make sure you got that.
I'm sure that he will make sure that Joel does everything possible to get back.
Absolutely. Warriors have a couple guys now out to the far side here, down on our lower screen. And a quick pass across the middle, and doesn't look like it could be handled. Is that Nate Steele?
Yeah, Nate Steele coming across the middle there. Harlan led him just right through his hands, and, I think he'd like to have that one again. I think Nate usually makes that play. So now we're 4th down. And this is a different situation now. I think this part of the field, obviously, down 30-0, 5:36 left to go. I think you go ahead and try to go for it here.
And we are inside of Royal territory here. Trying to knock on the door. And Harlan back to pass. A little pump fake. Steps forward. Gets rid of it across the top. And I think that's caught. It was tipped and then caught. And who is that back there?
I think it's Cameron Buckner again.
Cameron Buckner, and that was tipped.
Yeah, Cameron's throwing me off a little bit. He's wearing a different number tonight. So tipped off of Jesus Cardoza right into Cameron's hands.
Yes.
Boy, I'd like to see us get a score, get something positive going.
Absolutely here.
Just over 5 minutes left in the quarter, second quarter. Snap right to Harlan, right up the middle. Touchdown.
We have a touchdown? Touchdown for the Warriors.
Eric Harlan on the right up the middle. Snap directly to him and right up the middle.
That's fantastic. Had a little bit of a situation there, Coach. I had to look away for a minute, so I'm glad you were on it. So a direct snap to Harlan for the touchdown.
And, of course, we'll go for 2 here, and probably the right call anyway. We need to put some more points on the board.
So getting the stream up, and all the fans at home are good luck. We score as soon as we get them up here and get them watching. So we'll we'll thank those fans at home for getting us on the board and for the boys here. And a nice little cut up the middle. I think we got the 2.
I think they found a blocking situation that they like up front, because that was the same spot, ran right up behind somebody. I'll have to pay attention to see who that was, but they ran right up the left side again, right in for the 2-point conversion.
Yes. So that is really a nice situation on our first possession live.
Yeah, if you think about it, we started way back on our end of the field, so we pushed the ball all the way to the other end. Nice big play. We talk about how we need big plays. We had a big play pick up there with Harlan to Cameron Buckner with the assist from Jesus Cardoza. But whatever it takes, big play, we'll take it. So now hopefully you start playing with a little more confidence and understand, hey, we can move the ball. We know that we know they can, so we can move the ball a little bit. We're going to have to play with a little more confidence, and sometimes against teams like this, if we can get a little bit of going, our best defense is going to be having the ball on offense.
Absolutely. So the Warriors strike 30-8. There's still a lot of ball game left, Coach, so you don't know, folks at home, what could happen here with our Warriors. If we've found a little something defensively handling Swan and trying to figure some things out, you never know, Coach. A lot of game left. I know I hear you on the sidelines tell guys that early in the game all the time.
Yeah,
a lot of time left.
Yeah, you got to play the whole game. Either way, you got to play the whole game. It shows where we're at, and it shows our toughness. 4:56 left to go.
Here's a little onside again. And you can tell at Eastern Hancock practice for that. They were ready for it.
Yeah, let me give you a little insight on that, why I still believe that's the right play, being down where we are. Eastern Hancock is averaging over 30 yards per return. So if you do the math, let's say we have a guy that can kick it 20 yards. 30-yard, 20, 25 yards, a 30-yard pickup is going to be past that point anyway. So I believe that that's probably the right call anyway. And so didn't give them a chance or an opportunity to get that big play. Wes-Del is now going to call a timeout. We're going to give our guys a little bit of a break here. That may be as simple as that. I know we've talked about it before, but it may be as simple as we need a break right here. Got a lot of guys playing a lot of minutes. It's been a quick game, so some of those guys have been out there quite a bit. Get a chance to get a quick water break, get a chance to, coaches to talk to them a little bit. Maybe encourage them a little bit. We didn't have a whole lot of time to do that either. Encourage them about the drive that we just had.
And I would agree with that. I think it's a great opportunity for the coaching staff to get in there, tell them what they did right, tell them maybe a few things that they need to work on. But not a lot wrong with that last drive. A lot of good in that drive. So, Warrior fans, you were able to witness what was our strongest drive so far, and it has to have Eastern Hancock thinking to themselves, let's not overlook this. Let's not overlook this team. They moved the ball really well down the field against us, and now we have to go back to work. So I like the defense the last time, getting prepared, and now we've obviously seen Swan a couple of times in that first quarter, and we kind of know what they want to do. They know they want to spread us out, and now here we are trying to combat that, and I think we did a nice job on that last possession. So here it is. Swan is in the shotgun once again. He's got a tailback to his right, it looks like, and here he is. And enough time, he goes sideline here, and who is that? Number 4, and that is number 4. That's J.P. Fox.
Well, you can see when he has time, he just really throws a nice ball. Their kids are running nice patterns, but as soon as they turn around, the ball's on him. He just really throws a nice ball.
Absolutely does throw a solid ball. And now we have number 25, and that is Zane Bagley down here, and Zach Arnold, number 10, 2 wideouts down here, and also number 5, that's Cole Rainbolt. And it does go to Rainbolt. Rainbolt's got it as he moves up the middle, makes a couple of shifty moves, heads to the outside. He's got some room, he's got some space, and he's going to go all the way. And there's no laundry on the field. So with that, Swan, another touchdown pass, this time to number 5, Cole Rainbolt, the junior, 6'1", 185. And, boy, when he got it, Coach, he was shifty. He made a lot of good guys miss. He had a lot of room up the middle. And then, he took it to the house.
They set that play up if you go back and watch that, they set that play up with a cutback, and there was a blocking on Jesus Cardoza that was really nice. It was really a nice setup, and Jesus wasn't able to make the play. He was there, but he got hit, obviously, with the blocking that was set up on the passing play.
And going for the extra point, that is Aaron Redmond. And I believe we were blocked there. So unsuccessful on the extra point. And it's 36-8.
Just a couple of interesting stats here, and we don't necessarily get the stats at halftime. I wish we could. That's something maybe we can work on, but
yeah,
right now
we're just trying to get on, get our network working in time.
Yeah, right now
to give the full game.
Well, I think you. Yeah, I was going to say you owe some apologies to the way you were talking to some of those people, but nothing I've ever heard before. Eric Harlan with 57 yards tonight would become the 5th all-time rusher, and he would be passing Austin Prather if he can get 57 yards rushing, and I know he's picked up a few, so he's got to be close to that. I don't think he's probably there yet.
So 5th on the list.
He'll be 5th all-time passing Austin Prather if he can.
And Austin Prather, a fantastic career as a Warrior. I believe he played the quarterback position as well. And
one of the stats that he already did tonight, he only needed 7 passing yards to become the 4th all-time passing. And that would mean he would move into 4th passing Jeff Nichols.
Well, that's fantastic to hear for Eric. Congratulations to him. And now here is the kickoff.
Well, that didn't work out.
And now he's coming back.
Well, Nate had to pick that up. He thought, and I don't blame him. I think he thought that might be into the end zone for a touchback. Boy, it stopped just short. So then he was in trouble. He had to pick it up, and he got a little bit out of that to get us off the goal line at least.
So here we are. Warriors trying to keep things rolling.
Here's another interesting stat. Will Kelly's only 75 yards away from 1,000 career yards rushing, and he's only a junior.
So only a junior.
Yes, he's averaging 134 yards per game. So
and as you say that now, Will's in motion to the outside, and that is a screen pass to Will. He makes a nice little cut up the inside, and now he's moving in about 3-4 yard pickup there, Coach, right on cue.
Yeah, I like the way that, get some of our athletes out there like Will, get him in space, let him try to make a guy miss, and then you have a nice pickup. That's kind of what Eric did the last time down in the last possession. He just made a couple guys miss, pick up a chunky yardage. Now it's 2nd and 5. That's a lot more manageable.
Absolutely, and here we go. Harlan turns, a few last-minute decision-making and some talk to Will Kelly, waiting on the snap now. Now Will's in motion. Eric, again, same play, pitched out, and now again, maybe a yard as he gets out there to the far side.
Yeah, I think Eric thought, hey, that play worked. Let's try it again. We'll see where they picked up. We're getting ready to mark it. Looks like he picked up maybe 2, so we're going to be 3rd and about 3.
And you're dead on, as the PA announcer says, 3rd and 3. So, Coach, never wrong. You're always on it.
Try to tell those officials that all the time.
I know. And every time you do, I agree with you, and I think you're right every time. Harlan now could see a keeper here. Little misdirection, I'm sure, out of the option. And there, fake to Pittsford. And that time I was almost exactly right, and I think that's a first down.
It looks like, yep, sure is. First down. Nice fake there. Like you said, we had Pittsford in motion. Kept the end just there, just in their spot long enough that Eric could keep it, take it right up the field for enough for a first down.
And let's see if we can keep this thing rolling, Warrior fans. We've got Harlan back there again in the backfield, joined by Will Kelly as he has a receiver in motion. I believe that's A.J. Nauman. And he's rolling out to Nauman's direction, and now he gets rid of it, and he's going to, that was Jesus.
Yeah, that was a nice pass, actually. Jesus right there. I think he was worried about staying in bounds. The ball hit him, right in the hands, and I think he was just kind of worried about his footwork right there. You could see him smacking himself on the helmet, so I think he would have liked to have that one back.
He was definitely looking at the sideline. You could see that as the ball was coming to his direction. And sometimes You always tell them, we even tell them in basketball, you got to catch it first before you can do anything with it, but it's tougher when you're working on that sideline. Now Harlan gives, nope, and he's met right away, and that guy was not letting go. That's number 14.
Yeah, that play looked a little awkward.
Wes Kane, number 14 there, and Wes is a senior, 5'11", 195. He's a running back and a linebacker, and he was sometimes when you're a running back, you're pretty keen to know exactly what's happening right there, and you can read it. And he did just that.
Yeah, he did. He got right through a crease somewhere because he met Eric right as the handoff was trying to be made.
And here we are on third down, and we've got about third down and 15, maybe 14. And Harlan back to pass here. A pass bullet over the top, and that is Harrison Pittsford. A nice-looking pass and a nice catch by Harrison Pittsford.
Harrison really close on that. Nice. Just put his head down. Like we said, went north and south right there and picked up another 3 or 4 yards. If he'd have tried to go outside, he wouldn't have picked those 3 or 4 yards up.
Well,
down with a minute to go.
I'll tell you this much. Eric Harlan put something on that pass, Coach.
Yeah, he did. Harrison handled it well.
Here we go in that more power formation. And barreling forward, trying to get a push, but number 58 meets the Warriors there.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be just short. Be turned
and
over
so,
on downs.
Number 58 is Tyler Cavaletto. Looks like he's 6'6", 275. When you run into 6'6", 275, and that's the first guy you run into, and then you get a 250 jumping on top of the backside of that, it's not going to go well for you as a running back.
No, not usually. Eric is not 6'6",
He is not.
275.
Sometimes we wish in basketball he was 6'6" and maybe, 225.
Well, 48 seconds left.
So here we go, 48 seconds left in the quarter, and now there's some whistles.
Looks like Wes-Del's going to take a timeout.
Wes-Del took a timeout. I thought the officials needed a break. They've been, running all over the place tonight. But
yeah, they look like they might need some water. Let me give you another couple stats here while we're waiting. Last week, Eric Harlan became the second. He became second in all-time career yardage.
Really?
He passed Austin Prather, and he's less than 700 yards away. If he can get past that 700 yards, he'll break the school record, which is held by Greg Rhodes.
Really?
So Eric's
you are
doing
full of them today.
Well, he's doing some nice things. Yeah, I've got some sources up here that are
I had no
in my
idea.
ear. Yeah, we got these new headphones tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic.
I've got people in my ear.
You got people in your ear telling you what to do.
Yeah.
And, I spent the whole first quarter yelling and screaming at people so that I could get these Warrior fans online, because nothing irritates me more than when our Warriors can't see their Warriors in action. So speaking of that, I think we're going to be back at this again tomorrow. We got a busy day tomorrow. What's happening?
Well, we started this a week ago, and we
now have no life.
We've done 2 volleyball games.
Did we have a life before this?
I'm not sure.
No, I think this might be.
We maybe this is why we're doing it.
Yes.
We had 2 volleyball games, which were a lot of fun and a lot different.
Yes.
To call.
A lot quicker
moving. And so now tomorrow we're going to have, I don't know, maybe you don't even know this, but we're going to have 4 volleyball games tomorrow. So it's not just 1. We have 4 tomorrow.
Wow. I think I can handle it. I think, how early?
I think the first game's at 10.
That could be difficult for me. And here's Swan in the backfield there, and looks like incomplete pass down here to number 34.
Yeah, he threw that one a little short. There was no way 34 was going to catch that one.
34, Jacob Johnson, 5'11", 180. So 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll be back here on the broadcast with Coach.
Kay Saunders Classic, Wes-Del. No fans allowed, so if you want to see how the Warriors are doing, you're going to have to check in with us tomorrow.
And we will be at home on our own network, so we hope to be rolling without any issues.
Yeah, I hope the software guy that you just talked to hopes so too.
I think so. And being chased down from behind. A nice pursuit there, but gets it away to number 10. But he stepped out of bounds, and I don't think they called it. I'm sorry I didn't get the camera moved in time, because I was trying to, from clear up here in the booth, get that sideline official. He stepped out right down here by the 20, and I don't think they saw it.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, we had nice pursuit on that.
Who was in pursuit of that?
It looked like Will Kelly, and the quarterback got rid of it just before we made contact.
And here's Swan again, another pressure. This time he throws it out to number 25, and a nice, a nice job of stopping him on that run, and I think that's Eric Harlan over there, but that's 25. And that was Landon O'Neill, a junior. But I got to give a lot of credit to Eric Harlan there. He made enough of a stop there to let some of the other Warriors come in and finish it off.
Yeah, 23 seconds left. Be nice to get a stop here, get a hold. That's 2nd and 5.
Who took the timeout there? Was that Eastern Hancock?
I believe so. My headphones fell off.
Yeah, I saw that. and here's what I want to tell you.
It's nothing but professional up here.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans at home love it. 36-8. You take the timeout, or do you let the clock run out? What do you do?
Well, I think you
still got to coach it up.
I think it's first
Yeah,
half.
absolutely.
I think you still play. I think it's that's the right call. You keep playing.
You got any more stats or any more interesting things to talk about?
Let me get to my sources. Yeah, Avery Carmen's leading the team with 5 tackles for loss this year and 2 sacks this season.
It doesn't surprise me at all, and I'll tell you why. I felt like all of last Friday night we talked about number 50 being in the backfield time and time again.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about just tackles this year, Eric Pettis and A.J. Nauman are leading the team with 22 tackles apiece.
That's impressive for both those young men. Here we go. How many seconds left, Coach? You can see the board. I can't.
23 seconds.
23 seconds, and Swan has everybody spread out, and he's going right up the middle to 14 and can't handle it. Some good coverage there by Harrison Pittsford.
One pass incomplete, intended for 34, Jacob Johnson.
I notice you're having a lot of trouble with your headphones over there, Coach. I don't know if you're throwing them. I mean, it's not basketball season yet.
Well,
I know you like to, get a little animated on the sidelines, but
well, I haven't had to take my jacket off yet, but I keep leaning over because I have to lean over this desk to see, and I've pulled my headphones off
if the
twice
Warrior
now.
faithful only knew the sacrifices we made up here, leaning over this table. Swan out to the outside, makes a pass, just dropped it, and we are just blocked here. Let me move the camera a little bit for the fans at home. Sorry. But I got to give them a better view.
15 seconds left. 4th and 5.
15 seconds left, 4th and 5. Swan getting the call here. So it's either going to the end zone or it's going to be a turnover on downs. Swan spreading everyone out. Has been doing that all evening. Waiting on the snap.
Looks like we're going to bring some pressure, and we have.
Got a lot of pressure,
we got there,
but we've got some movement down here in the corner, and it's too much. And I know you got blocked by the press box window, but just let me tell you, he was about 10 feet too far in the corner. Good coverage, and I'd say that had a lot to do with the pressure coming at the quarterback. Did you see who was bringing the pressure?
Will Kelly again. Will got there. A little extra pressure from the outside.
And now the Warriors will take over, and it looks like
on the 5-yard line. 10 seconds to go. I would imagine we'll just run something probably up the middle or even maybe just take a knee. Don't want to take a safety, which we did have happen to us in the first.
Yeah, we did have a safety in the first quarter. We don't want to repeat of that by any means. And it looks like we're waiting for one more Warrior to get on the field, I believe.
I think we made a quick substitution. We decided to go ahead and take that timeout. Play clock was running down.
That should be our final timeout, I believe.
I believe so.
So we'll move in and see just what's happening over there on the far side. One of the only times you don't have to social distance today, and that's when you get to coach them up and your team gets together. Again, here we are, week 3, and I will say this. One thing that is a positive in the first half is how beautiful of a night it has been. It has been a really nice night. And again, we're at that time of the night where I don't know if everyone will know this about Coach Mack, and that is you like this twilight time.
Yeah, the twilight's beautiful time of the day, and boy, it couldn't be any nicer tonight.
And as you can see, and you'll see in the panned out shots as I get ready to do that, that we have is that I-70 that rolls by right here.
I think so. Oh, nice little play.
Nice little play there, up the middle.
Nate Steele.
Nate Steele with a nice little play, and I think that's going to take us to halftime.
Sure is.
So there's the horn for halftime. So it's a 36-8 lead for Eastern Hancock, and Coach and I are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you here in just about, I'd say, a minute or two here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. All right, Coach. We had ourselves a short little break there, a little longer. So, gave the opportunity for the Warrior faithful at home to go into the kitchen and maybe get a little something to eat, get a little something to drink, and come back. And it gave you a little bit of time to figure out exactly what it is you want to talk about here at halftime. So, Coach, fill us in. We're all ears.
Well, my first question is, what's my per diem tonight? Because we didn't get anything brought up to us here at halftime.
And we haven't had a water.
We have not had anything.
Here's right now we're going to rate things, folks, because at halftime I don't know how many people actually listen to us anyway. So we'll just tell you right now, folks, we're going to rate our road games, and right now our setup where we're at, it's much cooler than it was last week. It's a pretty nice setup in here. We're alone. We don't have a lot of noise around us.
It's a nice booth.
Nice booth. Now, Tri-Central did have us water when we needed it, and they asked us multiple times how we were doing. Eastern Hancock, a conference school, we'll have to talk to some people. I might have to talk to some superintendent colleagues about this, has not checked on us to see if we're even alive.
I think they take the hands-off approach here.
Yeah. You know who else is taking a hands-off approach to taking care of his Wes-Del Sports Network broadcasters? Athletic
Who's
Director
that?
Kai Denny.
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching or not.
I hope he is.
Run water over here to us. I see him. I see our assistant curricular director. I'm not sure what his title is. I may have just made that up.
Well, it's the director of student learning. You mean Mr. Slopsman?
Mr. Slopsman.
Yeah, he's
Sorry.
over there.
Assistant to the regional manager.
He's assistant to the superintendent. Yes.
And then I saw assistant principal Daniel Hansen over there.
Oh, Danny's
also.
here.
Yeah, he's here.
All right, Danny Hansen's here.
Close drive for him.
Oh, yeah, just down the road from his home in Anderson. If anyone, I'm sure he's happy that I told everybody.
Let me give you his address.
Let me give you his address here. Anyway, I'm going to check the chat and see if anybody's in there on the stream. How about you tell us if you're getting? I know you're not big into the technology, but I do know that you text now, which is big for you.
Well,
so who's been talking to you, Coach?
I got a few texts here. I got a text from, let's see. I got a text from Brandon Wiley checking in with us. Got a text from Mount Vernon Assistant Superintendent Chris Medley. Got a text that he's watching.
Wow.
Got a text from Cameron, my daughter. She's watching. Karen Dowling. The Dowlings are watching. I've heard from I did hear from our athletic director when we went live.
Well, yeah, he was only concerned with if we were going to get it up and running or not, which I guess is his job. But
right.
Well, let me look in here at some of the chat and see. I see Karen Dowling. She was the first one in the chat, and I believe, let me see if I change this. She said, "Go Warriors." So let's go to the live chat and see what we have in here. Shirley Thacker, the great Shirley Thacker, Thackerville. She's here watching grandson, A.J. Nauman, I'm sure. She put in here, "Thank you for getting this up and running." So getting some appreciation from those grandparents that may not be able to make it on the road because of the voucher situation. And then English teacher Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Williams said, "We appreciate your coverage." Well, we appreciate that you're watching, Mrs. Williams, and we want you to tell all your friends. We are currently on the Wes-Del Sports Network. We're at 83 subscribers. It would be fantastic, Coach. I tell you what, Coach.
To get to 100?
If we get to 100, I'll take you to Burger King.
Oh, wow. Please.
Is there a Burger King on the way home?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll just go through Anderson.
Burger Chef.
Burger Chef, whatever.
Yeah, the Ashleys just checked in. They're watching now, so nice to hear from them. And, now I'm getting some texts from people saying, "Don't say my name."
Yeah. Most people are. Most people would say that about us. Please don't mention me on the air. I don't want anyone to know that I'm watching you.
That's a joke. Kind of.
So if you are out there and you're in and you're watching and you want to say hi on the live chat, we're checking in on that on YouTube and getting ready for this second half. But we appreciate all of the Warrior fans. Love our community. Obviously, we love our school and love our small town. And there's nothing better than Wes-Del Warrior fans. And just keep those live chat comments coming. Make sure they're positive. We're all about positivity here. And I think we're going to see positive things in the second half. So what exactly are you hoping to see here? Give me two keys. The Coach Mac 2 keys for the second half? I put him on the spot, folks, because I didn't let him know I was going to ask him that.
Well, the first thing I'd like to see is us continue to fight. I felt like we started doing that in the second quarter. We got a little bit more fight. Things started going well. We started playing a little bit better, and we need to do that from the very start of the game. I'd like to see us control the ball like we did. That would be my second key. I'd like to see us take control on offense and make some long drives. I think we talked about that a little bit when we came on, that we needed to have long drives because that's probably our best defense, is to be on offense, to keep the ball out of their hands. They're not shy about throwing the ball around and an explosive offense. So I think that if we can have long possessions, continue to string together first downs, then those things will go well for us.
Coach, I sometimes get mesmerized when you take me into that strategy, and you've done it for years, and obviously I am easily mesmerized because I've spent a lot of years with you on the bench in the past, and now I'm back on the bench with you again, and I think that either I'm not real smart or you're just that smart that I just cannot help but love the tidbits that you put in here. But I do want to give you this. Rad J, I don't know exactly who Rad J is in the live chat on YouTube, but he did just tell us, he or she, sorry, there's a Burger King just east at the I-70 and State Road 109 exit. So
Let's get to 100.
there we go. Let's get to 100 followers. We're still at 83 subscribers right now. I don't know if I need to hit refresh, but I'm going to be honest with you, folks. Coach told me not to hit anything once we got this thing rolling. He told me not to touch another button.
Yeah, because I was paying the price for the fact that the software guy didn't seem to be as much help as we need him to be.
I'm going to call him back later and tell him I'm sorry. Andy Collum checks in, and he says that the Collums love Warrior football. That might be Andy. That might be Mrs. Collum. Either way, it could be Mr. Collum. It could be Ed Collum. Either way, I'm just going to tell you that we appreciate you guys. Austin, we see you there. You've got a shout-out now. Go Warriors. So we appreciate you, Austin, and keep watching. And Rad J is a 2012 Eastern Hancock grad watching here on our network.
All right.
Rad J, I appreciate that. We want you to know that if you can find athletic director Mr. Spalding, tell him to bring a couple waters our way if you're out there and you can find him. If not, that's fine.
He's right here next to us. I can hear him talking.
Yeah. So we'll get that taken care of. But we're going to take a break from the chat right now. But just go out there. Warrior Faithful, find your friends and family. Tell them about the live streaming that's going on. Again, tomorrow we'll be in action with volleyball, so those volleyball fans, let them know. Share it if you can out on Facebook. Share it on Twitter, whatever method that you use for social media. And get us out there so that we can get this going even more and reach more of our Wes-Del alumni. We've even heard of some people out of state that have watched. So we really appreciate it. And, Coach, what do you got for us now? We want you to chime in one more time, and then I'm going to need to take one quick break.
Yeah, well, I want to say thanks to all the positive comments. You know, obviously we're not professionals. We're doing
not
this.
Even close.
No, we're doing this. A lot of it really is selfishly because we enjoy it. We are having a good time with it. We hope that you guys can get a little glimpse of the games. And, you know, with social distancing and not everyone able to come to the games, I know that there are some people out of state. This is a great way to watch. Grandmas or grandpas that can't come, or people that just can't get a voucher because, honestly, there's a lot of people here tonight.
Oh, a lot.
I don't know what their social distancing rules are. It seem to be here.
I think their health department's a little different than ours.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people here, and I know it's their senior night. But just thanks to everybody, the positive comments that we've gotten, and, you know, people even reaching out saying, hey, how can we help? We'd love to sponsor. We'd love to do a commercial and all that stuff. Right now, we're just focusing on making sure our software works. I'll say that. We'll try to say that without getting hit over here. But we're just trying to make sure everything is running, and we don't want to, you know, commit to something yet that we can't put out there. But I think we're getting close, and I think we'll be able to do that. And I mean, I have nothing to do with any of the technical stuff. I'm basically the eye candy here.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break here. I think we're getting ready to go into the extra 3 minutes. Or are we getting ready to get into action? We might be getting ready to get into action. So we're going to take just a quick short break here, and we'll be right back with you here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. All right, Warrior fans, we are back getting ready for the kickoff of the second half here. Get our camera angle situated here, get you guys back into the action. So hopefully at home you guys are comfortable wherever you're watching, whether it be right there in the house, out on the back patio, wherever you're at, wherever you're located. And we'll bring you a great second half of Warrior football. Is that Will Kelly? No, that's Avery Carmen kicking off. And that one's bouncing, and there's a chance it's out of bounds, just missed being recovered by the Warriors.
That was close. That one went out of bounds, but we had a hand on that. It was a nice kick by Avery.
An excellent kick by Avery Carmen. And now Eastern Hancock will get started here. I'm trying to see exactly. Looks like they're just on the 43, Coach, maybe the 44.
Yeah, we'll say 43.
And so I'm throwing things around.
Well, I've knocked my own earphones off 3 times.
Absolutely. Again, non-professionals. Just going to be real with everybody. Here we go. Swan waiting for the snap. And the snap's away. He's back. A little bit of pressure. Steps forward. Dumps it off. And that looks incomplete. A lot of pressure there, Coach. Who was there in the pressure?
Well, I'm trying to check the number.
It's getting dark, folks. Coach's eyes aren't real good.
Well, I'm trying to. It's Will Kelly.
Will Kelly again.
Actually calling that complete.
They did call that complete. I thought that was incomplete. My eyes are just as bad as yours, Coach.
Yeah, I see that.
And here we go. Swan in the backfield, waiting, getting a little bit of pressure now. That looked like Jesus Cordoza coming forward. Nice little dump off to number 21, and then tackled out of bounds on the far side. Number 21, that is Ashton Smith.
You know, we have to give up so much in the back. Our safeties have to go back so far to make sure that we don't get beat long. We're giving up the short stuff right now, which, you know, is okay as long as we're making the tackle, but we're going to have to get a little bit more pressure, I think.
Yes. I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. And here we go. The run up the middle. Nice cut back. And a nice move on down. That's another first down. So Eastern Hancock moving the ball very well here in their first possession of the second half.
Again, they're just kind of short little passes here and there, but that one picked up a bigger chunk. We're going to have to cover, and then we're going to have to get a little bit of pressure.
And now it looks like Houston Swan getting ready. Last words of advice. Running backs in motion. Swan moving. Cuts up, takes it himself up the middle. Now he's cutting to the outside. Makes a shifty move and gets to the outside even further. I can't see exactly what happened.
He went out of bounds at about the 4-yard line.
We're going to have to shift our our camera.
I thought we had him stopped right there, and he had made a nice cutback. I'll have to give him credit on that. Nice cutback, and right before we could make a play. But I thought we were there. I thought the pressure was good, and then he was able to elude the tackle.
Well, I'd appreciate it if he'd stay on the far side where our camera angle is not blocked by the press box. So, but I don't think he's listening to me. Here we go. Spread out again are the Warriors. Swan gets the snap. Handoff.
It's a handoff. Nice tackle. Looks like Eric Harlan on the tackle. Assisted by, I want to say, Eric Lehman. Looked like Eric Lehman and Eric Harlan there on the tackles.
Yes. And we just upgraded, Coach.
Hot dog in the water.
Hot dog in the water. Thank you, Eastern Hancock. Anybody that's watching on the feed, you guys just moved right on up to our favorite road team. Touchdown, Eastern Hancock.
Number 34.
That is number 34, and that is Jacob Johnson, the senior running back, 5'11", 180, runs that one in.
Boy, when you can spread out and pass the ball around like they can, you add in a little bit of that handoff right up the middle. Boy,
too many weapons.
Yeah, that's really tough to stop.
Too many weapons. And they will kick here, and I believe we will try to shift that so the folks at home can see. That one's off. And it is good. So 7 more.
Is good. Eastern Hancock 43, Wes-Del 8.
43-8, Coach. And now we get to see our Warriors take over. And at this point, every possession's important because not just about this game, but it's like we've talked about with the volleyball team in the last couple of nights, being the young volleyball team and having young teams, and then also here with football, it's not necessarily about week 3.
No, it's a bigger picture, and I think you got to work on the stuff that you believe in. You got to work on whatever works for you, and we have to continue to try to get better. I mean, nobody. It's the thing about sports is I try to tell our teams this all the time, and try to tell our kids and our leadership council is that nobody's going to feel sorry for you. That's not how sports works. They're not going to feel sorry for you. They're not supposed to, and you shouldn't want them to. If you're a competitor, you just want to go out there and get better. So we need to work on the things we need to work on. We got to get better at some things, and now's a good chance to do that. No time to hang your head. Hey, let's just go. Let's move on. Next play.
And I can tell you this, we both know Coach Huss well enough that that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to coach these kids up. Not one coach in our system ever gives up on kids, and Coach Huss is definitely not one of them that's going to. He's coaching them through every moment of this second half. Ball's away, and it's going down here.
Nate Steele going to pick this one up at about the 5-yard line.
Nate's coming up here down to our far side as we pick him up, and he is met by a few Royals down there. So we will take it over. I can't see exactly where they're going to spot that one at.
Looks like maybe around the 27, I'm going to guess.
We're going to go with that on the 27-yard line, hopefully.
They're calling it the 26.
26, but I think you were on it.
It's a long 26.
Absolutely. You were all over it, Coach, as always. I might buy you a extra spicy nuggets.
I thought you were going to say hot dog since they just brought us
No,
one.
you got the hot dog, yeah. Good luck trying to eat it because I'm going to work you to death up here. All right. Harlan in the backfield. Moves out Will Kelly. Now it's an empty backfield. Harlan waiting on the snap. Snaps away. It's a quick pass outside.
Oh, wait, hang on to that. I think that was Carlos Artiega. Double check that, but
Carlos Artiega.
Yes.
Pickup of 3 on the play.
He bobbled it a little, but was able to hang on, pick up 3 yards.
Positive yards is a positive in any way you look at it. So 3 yards. Now it's second down and about 7. And Wes-Del gets set quickly here, trying to move a little faster. They've got a lot. They know they've got a lot of ground to make up. That looks like Kelly in motion.
Hands off.
Hands off to Kelly. And he's met right there about the line of scrimmage again, Coach.
Yeah, it looked like they were able to string that play out a little wider. Will wanted to turn it upfield and just didn't have the opportunity to. It would look like we still picked up a couple yards. It's going to be about 3rd and 6 with 8 minutes left to go in the third.
3rd and 6, 8 to go, as Coach says, and Wes-Del trying to get set very quickly here. And a lot of subs in and out for both teams here. We've got 3 wide down here at the bottom of our screen, all checking their wristbands now to see exactly what play. Harlan with a few final directions. The snap is away. Harlan pump fakes, goes
pump
up
fake.
the middle,
Nice
and picked
read.
off right there by Eastern Hancock with room to work. And it looks like he's going. And where'd he get knocked out
Yeah,
at?
they got knocked out at about the 10-yard line. Eric Harlan, 15 maybe. Eric Harlan made the tackle on that play, and you could tell he hit him pretty hard because he was pretty upset with himself. Nice pump fake. Harrison Pittsford was sliding across the middle and was open just for a second. But a nice read by the defensive back. As you know, we ran that play earlier in the first half, got a big chunky yardage on it. We tried to go back to it right there. Nice read by the defensive back. He was able to read that one and step in front and make a nice play.
And I was able to see that kind of, at our viewpoint, we could see that transpiring, and we saw that he picked that up. So, yeah, it was a great play by the, I think, the safety there for, or the defensive back there for Eastern Hancock. Now you've got Houston Swan once again able to pick apart a lot of defenses. He throws to the far corner. I can't see that.
Out of bounds. It was just over the head of the running back, number 34.
Incomplete to number 34 there.
Looks like Will Kelly was in the back there. I think it's Will.
And losing Joel Dowling is someone that's going to help you in coverage defensively in the week that you're going to have to play a guy who's going to spread you out like that. Puts a lot of pressure. Nothing that Joel could do about it. Puts a lot of pressure on the rest of your team to step up and try to cover. But when they go 5 wide, we're having to really cover a lot.
Right, and then that means someone's playing out of position. You're putting someone in there that's probably used to playing a different position. That was actually Harrison Pittsford on the coverage last time. Handoff up the middle again.
And I think they may have made it.
Looks like a touchdown.
And it is a touchdown. So touchdown Eastern Hancock now, and that's going to make it 49-8, and we're going to see if they're going to go for and we have a penalty flag now late.
Let's see what this flag is.
And I don't know if there's some frustration. It wouldn't surprise me if frustration is starting to set in if it's on us. Let's see what we have here.
It's like unsportsmanlike conduct on
Eastern Hancock.
So maybe a taunting.
I believe so.
I'm guessing.
So I'm very proud to say that our Warriors were not frustrated at that point and kept their composure, and that's what we expect from them. Eastern Hancock there gets the personal foul on a little bit of over-celebration probably. Nothing against those kids. They're excited about what they're doing out there, but the officials are going to clean that up. Sportsmanship's been big for the IHSAA the last few years, and they're just trying to make sure that we keep that clean on both sides. So well done by the Warriors. Keep their composure, and Eastern Hancock just a little over celebratory there.
The white hat's going to tell us again what's going on, which is great that he's telling us and taking his time. But we're now in a situation where it's running clock. We'll talk about that in a second. But
yes,
that penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So they're going to go for the extra point here, try to make it 50-8 here in the third quarter. And it's away, and the kick is just short.
Hit the bottom of
the crossbar there. So, Coach, fill us in on the IHSA rule for, I believe it's the Mercy rule, that the Football Coaches Association and the Indiana High School Athletic Association came up with.
Yeah, and I'm not as familiar with football as in the Mercy rule as I think I thought I was, because the clock is now not running. But I think once play goes, not during the kickoff here, but I think once play starts, then even if it's an incomplete pass or out of bounds, then the clock will continue to run. So I'm watching the white hat. He hasn't started it yet, so it's a little bit of a learning situation for me right here too. So we'll see how and when that works. But as soon as the ball's kicked off, I believe the clock will continue to run, whether it's an incomplete pass or whether the ball goes out of bounds.
And I do know a little bit, and I'm going to be wrong on some of it. I'm sure somebody could probably tell us in the chat if I switch over there and look that knows a lot more than we do. But in the middle school game, we had this happen where the Mercy rule was instituted for the first game of the year when the Warriors played Tri-Central, and we're up in that one. And I think they still stop on scores, and so I think that's why it stopped right there. But I'm sure there's someone watching that knows a lot more than we do that can help us out.
Well, that would make sense because there's an awful lot of downtime in the change of possession right there before you can get everybody set and get your kicking team on the field. So that makes sense.
I've never quite understood the fact that Eastern Hancock runs towards the ball on that kickoff and then stops.
I'm guessing they're showing if they ever need a onside kick.
That's why
a little squib kick here.
That's why you're the coach, Coach Mack, with the call there, and that's to Harrison Pittsford. Nice little return there.
Yeah, Harrison put his head down and got all the way back to almost the 40. We'll call it the 41.
So Pittsford with a nice little carry on the return back and puts the Warriors in really good position here to get something going in the third quarter. Coach, exactly how much time do we have left there?
3:45 and counting.
3:45.
Third quarter.
And folks, it took him just a second to get that out, and he's wearing his readers.
They don't help for long distance.
And so here we go. We've got, it looks like Nate Steele's closest to us here in our bottom of our picture. And then I think that's Jesus Cardoza. And then Harlan keeps and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And honestly, that was a fight just to get the back to the line of scrimmage because Eastern Hancock was right there.
Yeah, nice push there. They were able to get through. And, yeah, like you said, Eric made something out of nothing right there. I don't know if you can see very well, but this official right here below us, when he turns around, look at his mask. He's got a striped mask on. I've not seen that before. It's pretty
like an official's mask.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
This is to number 31,
Carlos.
and that's Carlos Artiega. And it's about a 4 or 5 yard pickup, so a little something there for the Warriors.
Nice.
So let's see about this official. Let's see if he turns back this way.
It's 3rd down now, and we're going to need to pick up about 6.
Nope, he's
Long
going to
5.
back pedal exactly when we wanted to look. Harlan, Kelly in the backfield here. Everyone checking their wristband. You know, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could check the wristband and know exactly what I'm doing. There's a lot of pressure on you to make sure you know what's going. Nallman and Cardoza in motion to the far side, and it looks like Nate Steele stays down here in our near side. Harlan rolling out. He goes and that ball is fumbled. I think recovered by Wes-Del. Was that Cameron Buckner?
It looked like it was Cameron Buckner on the catch. And then believe they're calling that a fumble. I think it probably should have been called a fumble. It looked like he had possession. And they are, and they're saying that we kept possession, so it's going to be 4th down. We lost about
we're at 9 yards there,
4,
Coach.
Yeah. About 4 yards on that play. So.
4th and 9, and Buckner did recover his own fumble.
Minute 45 in the 3rd.
A minute 45 here. Harlan jogging back onto the field. Grabs the mouthpiece. Inserts it. Makes the last few comments there to the backfield. I believe that is Will Kelly. Now drops back, comes to our far side here, and that's Nate Steele with an unbelievable catch. And, folks, I apologize. You were blocked by the press box here, but Nate Steele just made a one-handed catch, falling down, and, of course, we don't get it.
Well, let me just say that was a great one-handed catch, and he had a defensive back all over him. Probably, if he doesn't make that, I think they throw the flag. It's one of those they just keep it in if he makes the play.
Well, it's one of those where you have to imagine it was radio there for a minute, and you could imagine how great of a catch it was. Whatever you're imagining, it was even better, and he almost makes another one on a touchdown pass. So they're calling Nate Steele's number here, and we do have an Eastern Hancock Royal down in the end zone. Let's see if he's okay. But, folks, let's go back to me doing my best to describe what was going on there. So down in our lower portion of our screen, and you were blocked there, you could see as Nate went out on his route, and we had Harlan rolling out to the side. He was looking Nate Steele in the whole way. Nate's on this side alone. He has great coverage. He goes up, his jump was a little early, ball's a little high, and he came down, got a little tip with that, I believe, the right hand, and was able to pull that in, Coach, and bring it right into his body as he's hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best catch, if not the best catch this year I've seen out of our Warriors.
Great catch. We've seen 2 really nice ones tonight. Go back to the tip play with Jesus tipping the ball and then Cameron Buckner holding on too. But that play by Nate Steele, one-handed catch, was great. And was a pickup of, I'm going to guess, around 25 yards or more.
Easily, yes. So I'm looking in here and checking out the chat as we have some time. I want to give a shout-out to Caitlin Wilson. She says, "Go Warriors." Blake Whitehead also there. Blake is one of our 8th graders on the middle school football team. It's good to see Blake's watching out there. I'm going to take a minute and read this one before I say anything. I'm seeing what Coach Van Mater is putting in here.
Yeah, be careful.
You got to be careful with this. I like what he said. You guys are as good, maybe better, than Cotton McKnight and Pepper Brooks in dodgeball.
Wow.
So we'll take that. Thank you, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Can't tell what's wrong with the Eastern Hancock player, but maybe a shoulder.
I want to give a shout-out to Karen Dowling's family in Ohio. She says they're watching, so appreciate that watch out there. And we know Joel's not out there, but we know he's out there in spirit tonight as he's injured. And we just want to appreciate the Dowling family for tuning in, and Karen Dowling's family in Ohio tuning in. So the Eastern Hancock player being helped off to the side here. He's being attended to by the trainer. And we're going to get back into it here.
I apologize for. I feel like I'm leaning on your shoulder here. It's a little tight in this booth.
Yeah. You know what? I don't mind. There wouldn't be anybody else I'd rather be leaning into me right now. On the road watching the Warriors play. And that's the end of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter.
So we're at the end of the third quarter, and we are going to take a short break here on the Wes-Del Sports Network, and we'll be right back with all of our Warrior fans.
And we're back.
We are back, and we're going to take a quick shot over there to the other side. I know they may not be cheering at the moment, but our cheerleaders on the far side there.
Yeah, we're getting ready to start here, but before we do, I want to mention the cheerleaders, coached by Taylor Robinson, Madeline Hawkins, Leah Robinson, Avery Hudson Roberts, Jalen Gann, Bea Foreman Bramlett.
Touchdown, Coach!
Oh, stop me for a second. I'm sorry.
Touchdown, and I believe that is that number 6? Cameron Buckner with a touchdown, folks. Harlan to Buckner for 6.
And it's a great way to start the fourth quarter. Looks like we're going to go for 2.
Not to interrupt our cheerleaders who are doing a fantastic job, but I think they understand. We had the touchdown there. We push in for 2, and haven't seen a signal.
Looks like I think we fumbled, so unsuccessful on the 2-point conversion.
So, Coach, go ahead and fill us in on the rest of the cheerleaders.
The rest of the cheerleaders who just had a lot to cheer about right there on that play. Alexis Crawford, Riley Lazader, Emma Lawrence, Mary Kate Dunnick, Molly Wimmer, Delaney Huffman, Lily Prather. So good job tonight, cheerleaders. And you know, I forgot to mention last week we did talk about the managers and how the managers, don't typically get a lot of glory and do a good job for us, and especially on those hot summer nights.
Well, who are our managers, Coach?
Our managers this year: Michaela Swope, Kayla Bookout, Olivia Davis, Alexis Hart, Savannah McComb, Elena Stewart. So good job from our managers also.
So with that score, it's 49-14. Here, quick score to start the fourth. So just a nice route there. I know you were looking down to get the cheerleaders their recognition tonight, and we do appreciate all they do, giving of their time, coming out here, cheering on. And again, want to give a shout-out over there to our fans. We have a good amount of fans that have traveled with us. Again, voucher restrictions, social distancing, but they're there. They're always on the road with us, and we appreciate them so well. We've got our fan base at home, but to go back, it was just a fantastic route, and Buckner really got behind too, and nobody picked him up, and a stripe from Eric Harlan for the touchdown. So it was a really nice possession there for the Warriors.
Good, and then like we talked about, we need to keep playing. We need to keep battling. So, nice fight and way to start the fourth quarter out.
Absolutely. We got a big week next week. You're continuing to work 49-14. You're continuing to work for next week. Next week's homecoming, big one. We bring in Tri, and
always close when we play Tri. It's
absolutely
always a close game. If you remember last year, came down to the very last play.
Yes, it did. At Tri last year, I believe it was their homecoming, if I remember correctly.
Feels like time for a little payback then.
Absolutely. Here is Avery Carmen to kick things off. And let's see if our Warrior defense can get our ball back and see if we can get things going again. A nice bouncing high kick there, or squib kick, excuse me. Bounces off, comes to the far side, and a nice tackle in the backfield. That's number 53 for us.
Eric Lehman, I believe.
Eric Lehman with a nice tackle to get back there to stop any return for Eastern Hancock.
Yeah, nice tackle. Looked like he kind of ran into a bunch of guys right there that were holding their ground and then went backwards, tried to make a little more out of it, and Eric was right there to make the tackle.
So here come the Warriors trying to shut down Houston Swan and this powerful offense, but I do believe that they're going to spread things out, and we might be seeing a different quarterback at this point. So we'll see what happens. Looks like they're kind of in the same formation, spreading us out there. But I believe that is number 10. Number 11, actually.
Number 11, yeah.
Number 11, let me look him up for you, Coach. That is Aaron Redmond. Aaron Redmond is a freshman, 6 foot, 150-pound freshman out there getting some snaps in at quarterback.
It looks like they may have a few younger guys out there. Right way to handle that as a coach. You know, you can appreciate that from both sides.
Yes.
I've been on both sides of that. And you want to remember there are times when you're up, there are times when you're down, and when you're way up, like Eastern Hancock is, give those younger guys a chance to play. It's big for them, too.
Yeah. And here is one of the younger guys, and he's met with a lot of Warriors on that play. So great opportunity for us to tighten up some of our defense, get some things figured out here for that big homecoming week coming up. So the fourth quarter, really, the focus, folks, needs to just be about how we're tightening things up and getting ready for try and trying to get a few positives. What you're looking for at this point, Coach, what you would probably look for are let's finish with some positives in this last quarter.
Yeah, and I think we're going to do the same thing. I think we're going to throw a couple guys out there that haven't played very much. You know, we have Branson Dalton out there, number 20, getting his first varsity time, I'm sure. And so some of these guys are going to get a chance to show what they can do. They get to work hard at practice, and now we get to show it off a little bit. And it doesn't matter if the score is, 49-14. If it's your first time in a varsity game, that means something, and that's exciting. And it doesn't matter if you're a Eastern Hancock Royal or if you are a Wes-Del Warrior, if you're a young kid getting a chance to play on the varsity field with the nice crowd and people out there cheering for you, and mom and dad are proud, and everybody's getting a chance to say great things about you. So, nice to see good sportsmanship by both coaches. And what it shows me a lot of times in these situations is, do coaches get it?
Yeah.
And these coaches both get it.
Yes.
They understand, hey, it's time to let some of these younger guys play. And you know what? Nobody cares if they score or don't score or what, you can, if you want to pass the ball, pass it, but play it with your younger guys.
Yep.
And let these guys get out there and play a little bit and show that they put in their hard work. And, that's just good coaching by both sides.
And I couldn't say anything any better, Coach. And Redmond is back there in the backfield getting things set for Eastern Hancock. And again, as you said, it doesn't really matter what the score is, folks. If this is the first opportunity you have to watch your young athlete to play, we just feel so fortunate to be able to be here to bring it to you. And that's an interception there. The ball was in the air, and I think it's picked off by, is that Buckner?
No.
Number 26 for us.
Somebody new getting a chance
Yeah,
to
we
play.
got to check that. We got to check that one.
Zach Dobbs.
Zach Dobbs with the interception. Zach Dobbs with an
Sophomore.
excellent interception. The sophomore picking off Redmond, the freshman there. So a great opportunity right on cue for a young Warrior to get out there and get his first varsity interception, I believe. I'd have to check the stats to make sure, but I think it is.
Pretty sure that would be.
So congratulations to Zach for getting that. And again, we couldn't be more proud to be here to as a Eastern Hancock, or is that Wes-Del that took the timeout? I think it was Wes-Del.
Gives us a chance again to remind you we'll be on tomorrow for the K. Saunders Classic Volleyball. Really excited about a chance to do that. We talked about maybe doing that a couple of weeks ago, and then we realized that from talking to Coach Wilson, he really wanted to be able to have all 8 teams that are typically invited to that tournament. So in order to do that, we wouldn't be allowed to have any fans come to the game. And I know that's tough. Believe me, I'm a parent too. But the fact that we can go and let people watch, I hope it translates well. And, we're still learning volleyball. I mean, people might say we're still learning football, but we're still learning a little bit about volleyball. It's a faster-paced game, but it's fun to watch, and we hope that those 4 games that we bring in tomorrow are exciting, and our girls played really well last night, so hope that they can carry that into that. And Coach Wilson, I'm sure, will have those girls ready to play. We talked about this last night on the volleyball. We're the only 1A team in that whole tournament. There's some 4A teams, some 3A teams, and we're the only 1A team, so it's going to be fun.
Yep. Coach Wilson talked about how he didn't set that up to have be one of those where the host is, easily into the championship or a chance to win it. He wants to play against the best, and we talked about that. As the snap now
Harrison Pittsburgh,
goes
quarterback.
See here, we got a couple of Warriors flying over the top there. I'm waiting to see who comes up from the bottom of that.
This number 30, Devin Groh, getting some varsity minutes.
Freshman Devin Groh getting some varsity time there on the carry, and he picks up about 2 yards on the carry from Harrison Pittsford. So again, folks, if you're tuning in, you're getting to see some of our young Warriors out here and get a look at the future of Wes-Del football, which is bright, and we're excited to see some of this action right here. So Pittsford with the snap. He rolls out to the far side, dumps that one off to number 18.
Spencer Huntsman?
Spencer Huntsman, I believe. Is that number 18? Yeah,
yes.
That's Spencer. A nice little pass play there.
That's going to bring him up about 3 and
That'd be
third and 3. I'm
third
sorry.
and 3. But we'll go with 3 and 3.
3.
We'll be
Third
back
and
at
3.
2 and 2. 3rd and 3. Huntsman picks up about 4 there. So, a lot of new faces, young faces out there.
Looks like we have another new quarterback in, number 11 now. We've got Triton Blevins, a freshman.
Oh, this is Triton Blevins, a freshman coming in. He comes out to our low far side here, and he's got a head of steam, and he just short. They're going to mark him just short of the first down. But it's good to see Coach Hess in here getting some young kids in to get those snaps. We've talked about that, and really pretty impressive to see these kids so far. So,
well, what you like to see when you see young kids come in, you like to see them execute. If they can execute, that means they're paying attention to practice because they probably don't get as many reps. So when you see a team execute, you know that they're paying attention, they're working hard, and that's nice that they get a chance to show that they're listening, show that they can play, and show, like you said, that there's a future coming up.
Yep, and here we go. And the handoff goes to Groh. Groh met immediately and stood up there. One thing I'll tell you about Devin Groh, knowing him, you can stand him up, but it's going to take a lot of you to get him down. He's a tough little kid. And he's not little. He's just he's not the tallest guy on the team by any means, but he is a very strong kid, and it's going to take everything you have to get him to the ground. So on that one, even though he was stopped in his tracks, he wasn't going to let him take him down.
Yeah, we turned it over on downs there. It just took a little longer to develop, and I think if we could have gotten that to Devin a little quicker, he probably would have been able to pick up that 1 yard.
Yeah, the hole was there. It's just and again, when you're young, you've got to get that timing down. You got a couple of guys here, or a handful of guys that were in there that are coming straight out of middle school. And it's a quicker game, and they're finding that out at practice, but now you really find it out on Friday night when you're out here. So this is where, as you talked about, this is where you grow more than anything. When you step into, as a freshman, into lining up against some of these juniors and seniors and experienced guys at a place even like a bigger school like Eastern Hancock. So great opportunity for these guys. And, again, you talked about Pittsford. You've talked about Triton Blevins being back there. You've talked about Huntsman with the catch. You've got Groh with the run. Those names are the future of Wes-Del football and what these Warrior fans are going to hear a lot about. So it's nice to see them out there, Coach.
Yeah, and they've done well. Like you said, they've got to execute. They've got to keep playing. They've got to do the little things, which one of the biggest things they can do is make sure they're in the weight room with Coach Van Meter and working on footwork, working on explosiveness, working on weightlifting, working on getting stronger. And so, it won't be any surprise to them when they step out here now because they've got a little bit of experience because they're playing, and they'll have an opportunity to have a little bit of varsity experience under their belt. But the hard work that they put in at practice, they deserve a little bit of this.
And here we go. We get to see some of these guys on the defensive side.
4 minutes to go.
And again, A handoff goes to 12 for Eastern Hancock, and he comes around. We've got a penalty flag in the backfield.
I think we're going to get a hold right there.
Again, Eastern Hancock's going to make some mistakes too. They've got some young guys in there, and while we get this penalty flag figured out.
The kid, they're called a holding, and the kid was literally almost laying on top of Luke Brown. Luke was trying to get up, and the kid pushed him from the back again. So,
well, knowing Luke, he wasn't really happy with that, I bet.
He made sure the official saw it, and so we got the call, and now we'll move on again to the next play. But, you as a young player, too, the one thing you're going to learn is you're getting coached by the varsity coach right now.
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit different ears than you're used to hearing because you're probably not hearing a lot of reps with the first team or with the varsity coach. So,
yep. And at a school like Wes-Del, one thing you've got to understand is, as a freshman, your number could get called at any time. We talked about Joel Dowling going down with an injury, and you never know. It's got to be the next person up. And at a small school, they're going to call on you more and more to be there to step up. And we have a catch down the sidelines here as he breaks free.
Looks like Devin Groh made the tackle.
Devin Groh did make the tackle. That was number 13 for Eastern Hancock with the catch, and that is Braden Sullivan. He's a freshman, 6'1", 175. So
it doesn't look to me like Eastern Hancock's going to stop throwing the ball anytime soon. They're teaching those younger kids how to throw it too.
I think that's definitely going to be part of their philosophy moving forward in football, is that they're going to spread it out and they're going to throw it. And you're exactly right, Coach. Now they're looking to the sidelines. How much time do we have now, Coach?
About 2.5 minutes to go here in the fourth.
2.5 in the fourth, and we're going to see what happens here on this play. And a little pass out to the far side, and he's got room, he's got space, and he's down the sidelines and just knocked out. Just knocked out on the far side. We are going to move our camera, try to get as much as we can for the viewers at home. So some young Royals flexing their muscles here. Again, we just talked and Coach just talked about it.
Looks like this one might be coming back.
And it is coming back. So I didn't see the penalty flag.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. It looks like a hold. We'll take that. Maybe that's why the play worked.
Hey, there you go. Usually that's what happens. When something breaks open that big, there's probably a hold. Now, I've always said you could call a hold on every play in high school football. Some people would argue with that. I don't think you can call a hold every time the Warriors have it because I don't want you to. But here we go. We're going to redo that one and see if Redmond, the young quarterback, can go back to work here and see if this Warrior defense, with a lot of young, fresh legs out there, can make a big stop. Handoff, and he's got room to work, and a nice tackle from behind there. And I'm trying to see who gets up from that. That's number 14, Coach.
That is Alex Harold.
Alex Harold with a nice tackle. So
some
again,
other names. I'm trying to just check and see who's on the court there. I'm sorry, wrong sport. On the field, we have Corbin Price out there. Jalen Gobby's getting a little time. Levi Crabtree. Looks like Deshaun Davis.
And here we go.
Corbin Price.
So a lot of young names out there. Again, exciting to see the future of Wes-Del.
This may be the last play.
Nice little cut back, and he stopped there.
About 30 seconds to go. They won't need to run another one, I don't believe.
I think we might let that one, both coaches might let that one run out. And this might do it here in the fourth quarter.
Let's see what Coach decides to do here. I think it looks like he's not going to call a play.
That is the final play of the game.
We've got about 7 seconds to go and running. Coach does the right thing there. No need to run another play and just let the clock run out. And that's it.
And then, again, we'll get to see probably both teams line up and do the social distancing wave.
That's true. Yeah. You see, it's fun, kind of fun to watch each sport and see how each sport handles this.
And as the teams go to the sidelines, and maybe they won't. It looks like Eastern Hancock's headed off.
Well, they're waving as they're running off, and Wes-Del's listening to Coach Hess, which is probably what they should do, and then they're turning kind of waving. They're waving. So
yep. So 49-14 here at Eastern Hancock, and that is the final score. We're going to take a quick 20-second, 30-second break, and then we'll be back here with final thoughts with Coach Mack and the superintendent on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And we're back, Coach, here at Eastern Hancock, in a tough one tonight, 49-14. Loss on the road here in MEC play. Eastern Hancock, again, I want to say this is the second year they've been in the conference officially, or maybe it's the first, I don't know. I think second. Yeah, second or third, I don't remember. But to talk about, and I know that we weren't able to stream that first quarter, but honestly, I'm kind of glad we didn't, because there was a lot of a learning curve for our guys defensively in that first quarter. But then let's move into the second quarter and take what you witnessed as you sat there and watched and kind of updated me in the first quarter. What did you see the adjustments that we made moving into the second quarter that helped us to get on the board?
Well, I felt like we did a little better job of getting pressure on the quarterback, and even though he's really good, and I don't know, we'll see a better one this year as far as passing goes. He, we were able to get a little bit more pressure. We were able to cover just a little bit better, and I think sometimes you have to get that timeout, longer timeout than just the timeout that you would typically call, and you get that quarter break. Gives you a chance to kind of regroup, gets a chance to let your assistant coaches that are in charge of defense and backs and all those, get a chance to kind of regroup and talk a little bit. And I thought we did a better job of that the rest of the game. Let's not sugarcoat it. I think watching that game, and this is why we compete. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. And tonight, Eastern Hancock was a better team than us. And I'm not ashamed to say that in basketball. When we play somebody that's better than us, that doesn't mean you don't want to compete. Eastern Hancock was a really good team. They're going to win a lot of games. I mean,
yes.
If you look at last week, they played right with a 4A New Albany school. So, they are a good football team, and they are solid up front. We've got to continue to make a commitment to work hard as we can every day. We've got to have great leadership, and we've got to continue to work in the weight room. All those things will pay off, and, when you go out and you do those things, you work as hard as you can. Sometimes a better team may beat you, but then what happens is you continue to do that, and you see growth, and you can see your program grow, and you continue to see our kids working and working and working, and it'll all pay off, and then you'll, be in those games where you maybe can upset a team like Eastern Hancock, or maybe you get a chance to come down to the end of a game where you need to make a play in a close game, and we do that. So, not disappointed. I would have been disappointed if I felt like we didn't compete. I felt like we got down big early, and then we still, made a conscious effort to compete. And, when you do that, then you know that you have good coaches, because it's not always easy to compete and get kids to want to compete when things get tough. It's easier to put your head down and just give up and blame and start pointing fingers. But if you keep coaching and the kids keep responding and the kids keep trying and keep working, then you'll continue to get better.
I couldn't agree with you more on all of that, and I would say from my vantage point up here that I was very proud to see the fight in our Warriors, especially in that second quarter. It was very nice to see the fact that, as you just mentioned, you get down 30-0 in the first quarter, but the first thing you do with your possession that you get in the second quarter is you drive, and what was a well over 60-yard drive to score against a team who's really been picking you apart in that first quarter. And again, that illustrates exactly what you talked about. A great opportunity is in front of you to just hang your head, drop your shoulders, and say, we're beat. We're beat in the first quarter. There's no reason to even fight. But that's not the Wes-Del way. That's not the culture that we've built at Wes-Del in any way, whether it be sports, academics, and just the way you carry yourself in life. I think one thing that I know in being around all of our coaches, all of our teachers, all of our staff, and really all of our community members is it goes so far beyond and it transcends well out beyond athletics. I know you, Coach. I know Coach Hess. I know all of our coaches. We'll see that from Coach Wilson tomorrow. We want to win. Wes-Del, it's not the school that says, well, we're just happy with going out and competing. No, we want to win. But what the culture here is that life's going to throw some things at you where you're going to have to work from behind. You're going to be in adversity. And what are you going to do in life when that happens? And what we saw tonight was an illustration of exactly what our guys and the makeup of our football team is, and that they're not going to give up, and they're going to put together a really strong possession offensively and go right back at them there in the second quarter.
Well, it's not woe is me, because Try next week doesn't care. They don't care that we lost right now. So, you better get yourself together. Take time to brush this one off, let it hurt tonight, and then be ready to go practice on Monday, because it's homecoming. First of all, that ought to get you fired up.
Absolutely.
We have a whole week of getting you fired up and ready to play. And then the other thing I would say is that, you're going to have leadership step up and have those guys, and I know they will, have those guys step up, because it's time to play a team that, quite frankly, we'll match up really well with. I think that we, after last year's loss, I think we will want to pay them back on our homecoming. And, I don't expect anything less from our guys than to see a good week of preparation and hear that from Coach. And I would say that next week we should be ready to go, get some guys healthy, and be ready to go.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. And I did like one thing that you talked about there, Coach, and that was you mentioned getting back into the weight room. And if I know anything, and I know we've talked about him, and we don't get paid by Coach Van Mater in any way, shape, or form, although, maybe he should give us a little extra for putting him out there, along with Mr. Tony Cox. I mean, you like to mention him a lot.
Those guys,
maybe sponsor, do what they need to do. But what I wanted to illustrate and say there and get out to our community is how thankful we are for the commitment that the Wes-Del community made in building the Warrior Fieldhouse and putting forth how much they have really. And you look at the updates inside the school, you look at the updates on the basketball floor there in Richard E. Johnson Gymnasium, and you just look at the additional updates made at Wes-Del Elementary, and you start to look around, and again, we go back to that culture shift, and you start to see that really putting a lot of effort into their facilities, the community. This is not just a school. This is a school community that is really excited about what they see with their kids every Friday night, what they see in the gym through the week, what they see on the cross-country course, what they see on the golf course, everything, and what they see in the classroom. And they're very excited, and they're making commitments to say, we want Wes-Del to make the step in the next direction.
Yeah, and I took someone into the weight room yesterday, and in the weight room and the field house for the first time, someone that hadn't been in there, and they were just amazed at how nice it was. And I'm amazed and so grateful as a basketball coach that we have a facility like that. And the weight room is, I know Coach Hess just loves the fact that we have that weight room for the football guys, and not just football guys, but I mean, it's something that he's really excited about. And it's I don't know if we could spend another hour saying thank you to everybody that made that happen. But
Absolutely.
It was it's great. I took someone, like I said, in there yesterday. They were amazed. I took someone from another community that was in there and said, this is one of the nicest ones I've been in. And, here we are, a 1A school. So, I'm proud to be at Wes-Del. I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud that we are learning to compete. I don't know that sometimes as coaches we feel like we're all the way there yet, but we'll get there. And, it just, as you said, we have really good people in charge of a lot of these different activities that we have going on in the classroom, in the, on the court, on the field, wherever it is. We have good people in charge of those kids, and we couldn't be prouder of it. I know we'll get to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, but because we'll spend a lot of time together tomorrow.
Absolutely, we will.
But we also, it's just tomorrow will be another example of good kids competing and a great coach, and just to be a lot of fun. So
that's a great segue into tomorrow, and I think on a 49-14 night, we're not going to ask one of the coaches to come up and talk, just because their minds are in a different place. They're, as we can see across the field, they're attending to some of the kids. Some of the guys are banged up, need some ice, do some different things. So we're not going to force them to come up tonight. Probably after homecoming, we hope to have Coach on the air. We'd like to get Coach Hess. That's going to be a goal of ours, to get him up here and get him on the air with us. But tomorrow, we're going to shift our focus into volleyball. We hope to bring you 4 really solid Warrior games, and we're going to start at 10 o'clock. Coach just gave me the 10 o'clock sign.
Yeah, 10 o'clock tomorrow. I think we're 10, 11, and 1, and then we'll do a crossover game.
I may just stay all night when we get back there at the at Richard E. Johnson Gym to make sure that I get things set up and they're ready to go. We don't miss a moment. I know you're not going to take me up on that offer where we're going to have a nice little sleepover there at the school.
No, I thought you were going to say my house. I said
no, we're not going to do that either.
Getting awkward.
It is getting awkward at this point. So, folks. We thank you for tuning in tonight. We thank everyone that was in the chat, and get out there and subscribe to the Wes-Del Sports Network. We appreciate all of the positive comments, and we appreciate everyone tuning in. And we can't wait to be back with you here very shortly tomorrow morning. Again, we hope to go live a little bit before the 10 o'clock, so maybe 9:45 in the morning. Coach will be up. He'll be ready. We'll have our donuts, and we'll have our coffee and our milk. And we'll be ready to go. So from Eastern Hancock here in Week 3, the Warriors fall 49-14 in an MEC battle. We'll be back at football next week for homecoming. But tomorrow we will be back in Richard E. Johnson Gymnasium for the K. Saunders Classic. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Have a great evening.